Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your May 2025 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see you. Let's get straight into channel messages for today. As I was tuning into your sign this morning, interestingly enough, it was very straightforward. It was just about resources. Specifically, I was shown like a financial ledger, and there was some balancing to be done. Now, we can abstract this a couple of levels and look at resources in a broader term. So, how much you're investing energetically in a relationship, how much time you're spending at a job, how much money you might be making at a job, and what's left at the end of the day with all the activities, extracurricular, social, etc. Does it balance out? The reason I'm saying this is I was feeling a sense of frustration, like there was room for improvement. We want to add in other things that provide value in your life. The time that you spend with family, with friends, the time you spend on vacation, anything that sort of creates this sense of joy and fulfillment. That also should be put in the ledger, and it's a subjective value basically. But what I saw was things weren't all adding up. So as we take a look at today's forecast, I want to get really specific and let's see if things are actually providing a benefit, a return on your energetic investment. And if not, then it's time to recalculate. Let's shuffle the cards and see what's coming through. Please close your eyes. Imagine that you're painting a circle of light around your body, and within this circle you are safe and connected to the planet. Let's invite in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters and see what messages they want to bring forth. By the way, this month I'll be pulling the expanded forecast a little bit later in the presentation. I just want to focus on the central spread first. Okay, let's begin with your catalyst card. This is something I talk about a lot on the channel, and it's having some fun. This, literally, we see three birds in the water. It reminds me of the Three of Cups. So we have the element of water. It is about play and enjoyment, and it may have been a minute since you've done that. Also, I'm looking at the 3 and the 6. Both the 3 of Cups and 6 of Cups are about connecting with loved ones in your life. Right off the bat, I was talking about that imaginary balance sheet that we have for all of our energetic, sort of output. Make sure that you're taking some time for fun, for family, and also to connect with community. All of that is present in this card, and it helps us get through the good times and the not so great times. All right, let's take a quick scan of the table here, see if there's any cards that really stand out. Absolutely, in the crowning position, we see a lot of movement, a lot of change. We see a card of expansion here. You have both Judgment and the World. This is a significant month. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I like what I see here. Let's get to the center card first. So we have Queen of Cups, and she's basically coming through encouraging you to be creative, to be authentic, to be sensitive and engaging. Anything basically beaming out from the heart this month is going to help you in your career. The key here is to not be beholden to it, but basically to harness the energy of creativity and utilize that wherever possible. Love and relationships could be taking center stage. This is why I said it's so important to have room in your life for fun, for play, for frolicking, as we see with this card. And this is a great intuitive card. It's about trusting the way things feel, again, on a heart and a soul level. Overall, a really great way to start the month. Let's see how it connects with the rest of the spread. So I love that the 7 of Wands, which comes right after 6 of Wands, which is success, is touching 3 power cards. We have business and leadership here, we have creativity and relationships here, and we have money here. And so this is coming through saying, you don't have to really choose, you just have to kind of juggle and delegate this month. So this is about working as intelligently, as smart as possible, not necessarily working yourself to exhaustion. So work smarter, not harder, and also push back on anything that is unrealistic, unnecessary, or just doesn't vibe with your heart, especially since the card that it, directly is interacting with is the Queen of Cups. So you have the capacity this month to say no, You absolutely should make, what's the best word here? Discerning choices, like be choosy. It's all right to be choosy. And if some people come to you with additional feedback, maybe because you've just achieved some sort of level of success, know that with success comes scrutiny. It's normal. Don't let it get under your skin. Don't sweat the small stuff, but do engage with that feeling that I don't need to do this. I want to focus on this. That decisive and discerning energy, that's going to lead you to the finish line. So the Catalyst card here, where we saw play, basically like the Three of Cups, it's absolutely connecting to the deep past here. 10 of Cups. For many of you, you've done the work to create a network of people around you. Maybe it hasn't been as active as it was in the past, but in this moment in time, there's a newfound connection. And if you choose to reinvest in some of these relationships, you could see new growth. Now, some of you might have just gotten into a relationship and you're settling into that energy. No matter how we look at it, though, people are going to play an important role in all aspects of your life. This is where the soul energy seems to be shining a light. It's saying focus on fun, focus on relationships, focus on your heart and your creativity. This is going to make you happier, which is going to make you more productive, which is also going to bring better people and opportunities into your life. So we got a clear indication this month that part of the focus, at least, is going to be on people, and that's exciting. Now, here's the first card that is showing a place where you can recalibrate. In the recent past, we have one of the best cards for leadership, the Queen of Wands, but when she's reversed, she can be very close-minded, very sort of like fixed in her focal length. It's almost like binoculars, but you're missing what's in the periphery. So the invitation here is to go a few levels up, get a bird's eye perspective, look within, look around. Don't just focus so much on what's at the end of this sort of like to-do list or the horizon. We love that you might be goals-oriented, but living in the now is very much a part of it. And as we look at the now, a lot of the now is around friendship, family, and creativity. So making sure that there's a little bit of that. Now, these two cards work in perfect harmony. Seven of Wands, as you can see, is bossy, it's defensive. Queen of Wands, she stands her ground. So there may be a moment, literally that's what the Seven of Wands is, where you need to stand your ground. That's fine. There are times and places to do it. You don't have to do it across every aspect of your life. I think it's more in money and your sort of schedule than anything, but there are other points where you want to open your mind to alternatives and open your heart so that you can experience new things. These are two super powerful cards in the crowning position. Let's talk about them. All right. So the first of the two is the Six of Swords. It represents movement. It can be figurative, like I'm moving on emotionally. It can be literal, I've decided to travel or move. It can also represent an elevation, and we have like this blimp or hot balloon here in this particular card. It's a blimp. And basically this shows that you might be slowly but surely getting to a goal, a new milestone. And absolutely the Judgment card would be one of those moments. Now, it's a little bit absent in this card, so I'm going to get the traditional illustration while we're talking. But with Judgment, there are always souls rising up from the dead, and it represents a release and also a rebirth. The question from Spirit is, are you ready to let go? Because, by the way, the Six of Swords is also a card associated with death and rebirth. It's one of the 3 or 4 that are part of that series. So in this moment in time, you're being asked, can you release what was, and can you embrace what's about to be? And in this illustration, you can see Gabriel blowing his horn and saying, it's time. It's a call to action. It's a connection to source. It's reinvention. It's the phoenix rising. This is not an end. It's a beginning. Here's the more movement-oriented and traditional illustration for the Six of Swords. So moving up and moving on, if we put the two together. And that's really what you have an opportunity to do if you're ready to do so. Are you ready to answer the call? King of Pentacles in the near future. This is why I was shown like financial ledgers in my dreams. It is important to get a clear vision and a clear handle on what you have for your own happiness, safety, and just ability to function in the world. look at your savings, look at your input and your output when it comes to budget, and make sure that it's enough. And if there's an area where you're not getting enough, advocate for more. If there's an area where you need to spend a little less, spend a little less. The cool thing with the King of Pentacles is he has a green thumb. Anything that he puts his attention to, growth can then come through. I'll pull the traditional card while we're talking on this one as well. I was speaking to another sign. It's almost comical how many vines you see on it. So one thing to think about as I grab this is you're sometimes only limited by your imagination. If you think to yourself, I can't do this, it won't happen, I'm not worthy, then you start to dictate to the universe just how far you can go. And really, the invitation here is to open yourself up to receive all of this or greater. Here's the traditional illustration. I mean, he's wearing a robe that I would almost call gaudy, but basically it's covered in all of these grapes. Then he's surrounded by the grapevines. Then he's carrying this big old medallion. He has a scepter. It's like riches beyond compare. So when we see something like this, there's a reminder that you are worthy. Like the universe is almost slapping you in the third eye so that you can see it with this, right? He's a little bit more strategic in here. He's thinking about, how do I get what I see is possible here? He may not see it in the periphery, but he knows it's possible. So part of the magic of tarot is it represents where you can be. And this is in the near future. So even if you don't see it right now, that isn't an indication of what may come. It's just the present. So continue to work hard and imagine the ridiculous riches that we see on the traditional illustration. You're worth it. I absolutely love that we have the Six of Pentacles coming through for you. Good choices, discernment, as we just talked about, and basically just finding the right amount of give and take. In fact, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see the kids with the open hands, and she's being picky. She's thinking, does this work? Is this enough? Will you appreciate the time, the energy, the affection that I'm showering on you? If not, why am I doing it? Being very present and very aware is going to help you. It's not easy. It's a very adult thing, thinking, I choose not to do this, and I have to say it. But once you articulate and make these choices, that connects you to the ridiculous abundance that we were talking about here in this King of Pentacles, which then helps you move up and move on, as we see with the double crowning cards. And then lo and behold, look at the only thing we're missing right now is death, because this is death and rebirth. This is movement. So is death. So you're stepping into something new. It's in the environment. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for you to open the door, to take the step, to make the decision. But in order to do that, you might have to choose, I'm going to do this and not this. The cool thing and the nuanced difference between Six of Pentacles and Two of Pentacles is, with the Two of Pentacles, you have to absolutely choose one over another. It's very binary. With Six, it's saying, I'm going to do this now, and I'll do that later. So prioritization is key, and you may still be able to get it all done, just not all this month, just all not right now. Sorry, I'm using like double negatives, but you know what I'm saying there. So be mindful of the calendar, be realistic with yourself, and it's going to be all right. This is also a great time to launch new things, to explore, to get outside of your comfort zone. And I love that we see a chimney sweep on this one. So it might be time also just to kind of like clear the cobwebs from your mind and explore new things. That's where she was limiting things a little bit. She can be too conservative, too picky, too fixed. The Fool is very like, let's just give it a shot. Let's see where it goes. All right. All right. We also have two twinning cards here in the Hope, Spheres, and Opportunities. Emperor energy, loud and clear, saying you've got this. You have a lot that's going on this month. So when we're looking at these three power cards, that could be your team. You could be working with people in your life, either your actual like human team or your spiritual team, but you don't have to do this alone. And in fact, if you can delegate, it's going to be better in the long run. Okay. So step into a more leadership role, go higher level. Don't feel like you have to do everything all by yourself. And then we have a reversed Hanged Man, which is saying don't rush. So as I was saying here, you don't have to do it all right here, right now. Span it out over time. That's going to help you with your pocketbook, with your time, with your energy, with everything. I'm also looking at the stretching here. And you don't normally see it when the Hanged Man is reversed, not so much. So one thing here is not to overextend yourself, to pause and think about something before you swipe the credit card, pay with your cash or whatever. Like really be cognizant of the expenditures. And in the outcome, moving up, moving on, beautiful energy with the world. Now, here's what's interesting about this, and it is very much in alignment with what I've seen in other signs. The timeline is different than what you expected. There is a nowness, an immediacy to the world card reversed, like it's happening right now. Or the time that you had in your calendar, it's moved. And you have to be flexible with the movement because we can't really control. This is the ultimate card in the major arcana. So if you're hesitating, you're going to have to wait again for another cycle. Who wants to wait? I feel like the opportunity that's knocking on the door, you're primed for it. We can see it. There's so many powerful cards here, all almost in a row, right? All of the court cards plus the Emperor are right there. So that's one thing that I'm picking up on here. It could also be in a different location. The world is also about the globe. So you may be considering a move that you wouldn't otherwise, but the situation, the opportunity, life in general is just saying, we got to go over there now. So listen to that if you need to. Don't limit yourself. So in the upright position, the world is all about expansion. Just like the star, if we reverse this card, we could be trying to rein it in too much. So allow the idea to be a little bit bigger. Allow it to be bolder. See what others and see what the universe will do to cap it, because trust me, they will. But don't put an unnecessary cap on your possibilities in this moment in time. Okay, let's expand this forecast now and take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. All right, we've got health there. Wealth. Love. And destiny. All right, let's begin with your health card. Health, of course, is mind, body, and spirit. We have beautiful energy coming through here. It says soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. The card was reversed. So for some of us, we might have gotten so lost in the shuffle, trying to be everything to everyone, because that's what all of these boss cards at the center represent, that we forgot who we were. So in this moment in time, it's more of an emotional and a mental sort of message here. That's why the Hanged Man was also here. Slow down, tune in, that's the Queen of Cups, and decide, who am I? What do I want? The soul is coming through too. So there might be some people in your life too where you're finally understanding why they came in. So this court of characters that's right above the Ten of Cups, this could be your family, this could be your friends. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. We have 4 cards here. There could be 4 people in your life, 3 or 4 people that you value the most. Knowing that is so essential. Even though we're not looking at relationships right now, it tells me a lot. It tells me that you're focusing on that quality over quantity. All right, now let's break it down more specifically into health messages. So again, don't take on more than you need to. You might be pushing yourself too far. Even in a general health reading, this could mean let's say you started a new exercise routine or you're lifting weights. You can pull a muscle if you go too far too fast. Know your limits, listen to the limits. This is the one that I'm going to focus on out of all of these because she's reversed, and the Queen of Wands in reversed can represent thoughts that kind of become stuck in our head, so we fixate on what someone might be thinking about us, what someone might have said, what might happen, what might go right or wrong. It's this math meme sort of thing. So we need to do anything possible to meditate and release all of that energy so that you can focus. There's a call to travel, like I've never seen it in a spread, like moving up, moving on, moving out. They're all there. So it would be a great time to travel for both your own enjoyment, but also maybe for opening you up to new possibilities. Everything in moderation. Like that's the big takeaway here, because this is you. This is how you came through. and gentle movement. Just a walk or a swim or anything that allows you to stretch. Again, not overdoing it. These are the key takeaways here. Beautifully laid out here. Please make some more time for play and for enjoyment. That's also a big takeaway here. All right, let's move on to the next category, which is wealth. We have Vishnu coming through. I love that they're so synchronistic here. Balance, and we have this beautiful sort of diva deity energy. You can't be everywhere at once unless you're Vishnu. But the reversal of this could show that there needs to be especially more balance when it comes to how much money you're spending, how much time you're working, how much you're giving up for an experience, even like school. We want to make sure that you're still there, that you haven't forgotten about what makes you tick and what makes you happy. All right, let's take a look at those of you that are currently employed. The travel and expansion cards just basically jump off the screen as I'm looking at this. Now, the judgment card, there could be a change in leadership. Your role could be changing. It could require that you travel. And for many of you, this could be good. Because this is general, this can also just be big and unexpected. So some of you could have just been laid off, because judgment can be that. And this is, again, sort of moving in a new direction. And this is then throwing you in this sort of area of like, what do I do next? So if you're part of that, stick around until we look at those that are job seeking. But for everyone else where it's a chance to excel or expand, let's focus on that for a second. One thing that I'm noticing is there are way too many cooks in the kitchen. We have a lot of bosses here. We have you coming through needing some more freedom. So it feels like you almost have to push back on some micromanagement this month. One thing that you could do is to remind them, like, just give me a chance. I know what I'm doing. I'll come to you if I need it. You might have to set some boundaries or some guidelines. If that's what you need to do, by all means do it. Whatever kind of gives you that space to breathe and space to prove yourself, that may also help them see that you've got what it takes. Because in the opportunity space, we have the Emperor. Just take your time. It feels like they might be trying to rush you as well. One thing that I like here, though, is your ability to work well in a group and to be able to see things from a big picture. Someone may be trying to clamp down on this sort of wonderful world energy here. Fight for that. That's the one thing that I would really fight for, because somebody may lack the vision, but it feels like this can take you the distance, okay? So pretty good month for most of you. Some of you may find that there's been a major change at the company, or you're in uncharted territory. Just stick around. I'll help you out when we go to job seekers. Let's first take a look at entrepreneurs. So if you own your own company, it's actually a pretty good period here. What we see is it feels like you have decent leadership. The only thing that's an area of opportunity, again, could be this stubborn sort of tendency that's coming through here. It's really important to lean into the changing world. The world upside down is a different world. Literally, we're in one right now, particularly in financial markets. Things have changed. What you want to do is allow yourself to think beyond the moment, get very strategic. And we also want to look at, this is somewhat conservative, and this is a balance card too. So we don't want to spend everything. There may be some things that you have to restructure. So I mentioned if you're working in a company that there was likely restructuring. If you own it, this is definitely a time to restructure. Changing locations of production, because that's what we're looking at. Reinventing, moving to a different country, moving production around. Not everything, but some of it. You might also be moving launch dates to a different calendar time, like maybe later this year, maybe next year. You have to be flexible in those areas. Pause before making major announcements or decisions, but don't wait too long. So, I feel like after the first week or two, you'll know where you stand, and then you can start to make some of these movements, okay? Things do have to balance out at the end of the day, so if there is a discrepancy in the books, now is the time to deal with them. Try to have some fun in this process. I know it's a lot to take in, but I feel like you could exit this experience stronger than when you started it if you're strategic. All right, as promised, let's look at job seekers. You could be just trying to get your grounding, because this is a lot. Things are changing. This gives you permission, for those of you that were laid off, fired, or somehow maybe even furloughed. There's so many different ways that a job can end. But if you didn't have a say in it and you find yourself in new territory, which is this, look, you're not alone. The challenge is it's a sea of talented people, right? So you have to be pushier than you normally would. In fact, as we're looking at it, it's the play card that is really the most powerful. This is showing you that it's who you know, not so much what you know, that is going to get you the job. You have to be able to make a connection with people, and this is going to send you to the top of the list, to the top of the crowd. So going to a friend's birthday party, meeting a friend for a bite to eat, going to a networking event. This is how it's basically going to connect you to the next opportunity, because one of these people could take that resume or to someone that's hiring or talk to someone that's hiring and help you skip over this pool of resources. For everyone else, look at not one, but maybe 2 or 3 different geographical locations. We have to get really creative in this moment and allow yourself to think, well, how about this city or this country or this province? Have I really canvassed all of the options out there? Okay? And then just be smart with the finances in this period of time. Can you find something? Yes, but I see a lot of relocation markers here. So it's about looking beyond your normal job title, your normal geographical code, like postal code, and really just kind of thinking bigger in terms of what the next project can be. Just because you haven't done it doesn't mean that you can't do it now. We need to get into this sort of rich thinking of the King of Pentacles. All right, for students, it's a pretty good moment overall. I feel like you have a solid team of teachers. I love that you've been spending some time working on developing a network here. There's a big call for travel. So you may decide that the next semester is one abroad. You may decide to study an international sort of topic, whether it's history or law. There's something that's bigger than just like your specific subject area or place in which you live. I like that. I think that's great. And you might have to, if you're entering into a new program, maybe it's something that you're going to develop on your own with this group of teachers. So it's a new course of study, something that's kind of like bleeding edge, which is cool. Take some time to enjoy the scenery, break a little bit, but of all the student cards and all the student spreads that I've seen, this is the most balanced overall. Finally, retirees, it feels like travel and relocation also heavily on your mind. Smart choices will ensure that you are okay, but you have to be smart and conservative and look at booking things way in advance, being very smart with your investments and not doing anything hastily. Okay, let's move on to love and relationships. There's a theme this month, and it's change. So we have Archangel Azrael coming through, change and transition, basically the angel of death. Thank you, Azrael, for leading me safely through this change. So you could be entering into or out of a relationship. The relationship could also be leveling up. The main thing here is something's changing, ostensibly for the better, but let's break it down into multiple categories. So starting off first with partnered. If you're in a relationship, I'm going to read it as if everything was okay. Make some time for fun. The playful 3 of Cups energy coming forth here. You may also decide now to go the next level. Let's say you've been dating. This could be engagement or marriage, especially with the 10 of Cups. So this is positive change. You could be moving in with each other. You could be moving to a new city, state, country, or province. It's all about movement. It looks like it's positive. It looks like it's leveling up. What you want to avoid is getting defensive. Keep an open mind with one another. If one or both of you have a tendency to walk away, you want to try not to do that. No hasty decisions right now, but overall, I like what I see here. If I could find another area of improvement, it could just be that there's a lot of family. It could be that you're getting together with a blended family or there's an in-law that's living with you. Try to keep the peace here. And you could be deciding to end a relationship. It looks like it's amicable if that's happening, but most of this looks like it's leveling up. Moving on to those that are seeking love. Can you find it? There's almost too many options right now. So it's a yes, comma, but why are there so many people and what are you looking for? I think discernment is key. And try not to juggle too many relationships. So it's not like necessarily that you're dating everyone. It's that you might actually have some pressure from family. There might have been a loss in your life or a change in your life. All of these things are taking you out of your ability to be there for someone else. So just be really strategic about that if you're single and looking. I do think that there's plenty of options, too many to cover. If I could invite one piece of advice here, it would be discerning and be picky. We have 2 choosy cards here. Push back on anything that doesn't feel like you've got a heart connection here. And that's really the best advice. This person probably is coming, like the core relationship that you're going to end up with. It's someone from a different circle. We have all of these outsider cards. So take your time, and it's not who you expect. That's probably going to take you to the distance here for relationship. All right, moving forward now to single and happy. Good for you. What I really see is a chance to excel in business, travel or move if you need to, and really find, in this month, whatever you need to launch, to change, to finish, the sky is the limit, or the world is the limit. Okay? Let's take a look at your destiny card. Raise your vibration. That's actually the name of this particular deck. So it's a mantra that can help you light up, but it's also it's a state of mind. You can choose to think, I've got this. It may not be what I want. This isn't the challenge that I anticipated, but I fully and completely have what it takes to make this work. If you believe that, you can actually bring it into existence this month. All right, we're going to do 2 cards here, one that's unique and new, and it's what you need to know. This is not what I'm trying to find. It's not what you're trying to find. It's what your guides want you to know. So we have an unexpected card coming through here. 2 of Swords, but she is reversed. So it's saying, open yourself up to see something. There could be a person in your life that is showing their true colors. It could be inconvenient. It may be the wrong time, but it's what you need to see. Don't try to put it back under the rug. If there's something going on in your body, in your finances, anywhere in your life, remember that once the blindfolds are removed, you can't unsee, unknow, unhear, or unlearn it. It is there. It's a blessing, but a blessing in disguise. And that's the main thing here, is to pay attention to what is coming forth. Now you get a chance to ask a question, and it can be anything that you want. This is your final question and final card. Formulate that question. Let's see what your spiritual team has to say. Okay, we have yet another. It's actually a partnership card. So King of Cups. So there, for those of you that were looking and you're like, gosh, there's too many options. Well, we've kind of got it clarified here, probably a water sign. But for everybody else, this is basically just you coming through creative, powerful, impactful, and ready. To a yes or no, it's a yes, but your heart has to feel it. And it needs to fit into the overarching theme this month, which is this. You need to be able to feel like you're in balance, in equilibrium. This is a month to create an ideal balance, and your heart is going to be the compass that leads you to those smart decisions. And I really feel like many of you have a chance to meet new people, have some fun, and possibly go deeper into relationships. That, my friends, is the new and improved format for the readings. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, like and subscribe, leave a comment below, let me know what resonated the most, and I just want to say thanks in advance. You can show some additional love and support by doing a super sticker, super like, or joining as a member. This helps so much. I am here because of the love and support of all of you. I wouldn't be here without it. And as more and more options pop up on the internet, I really do lean on the support of those of you that can give a little bit extra. So if you're able to, I just want to say thanks. You can also follow me on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all the major platforms. On Blue Sky, it's nicholasashbaugh.com. That's also my website. And that's pretty much everything. Let's see if Apollo is behind us. He is. He's stretching. Let's give him a little pat on the head, and then we'll wrap up for today. Hey, buddy. Good boy. Yes, you are. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being the absolute best part of what I do here on YouTube. I appreciate and value you, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.